And this is the Ashburton, previously the RMB MidCap ETF. And this one, of course, tracks the 60 largest stocks on the JSE, excluding the 40 that are in the Aussie 40.
Exactly.
So how big is this one? Is it pretty popular? And what sort of people own this one?
So this for me is much more a reflection of, let's call it SA Incorporated.
Yeah.
In our top 40, we have all of the large deal listed companies, the
Yes.
companies that have very successfully globalized their earnings base. What you see there is much more a focus on not just, say, for example, the industrial sector in South Africa, but also many of our mining companies.
Yes.
As resources have come under pressure, we've actually found that many of the mining companies have been sort of degraded down to the mid-cap sector.
Yeah. Yep.
So for me, this is much more about what is actually happening on the ground and in the economy in South Africa, and that we know not to be a great picture. Another interesting one for me about the mid-cap index compared to the top 40, we're very aware of the concentration or the size bias in our top 40 index,
Yes,
where 4 or
correct.
5 companies make up 50%
Like
of this
nice
index.
purses.
Exactly.
But isn't this one also market weighted?
It is, but
it's
because
less
it's the next
extreme.
60, in fact, the
Yeah.
highest weight in that one is less than 4%. So you
Okay.
get a much better spread of companies and no one domination
Yeah.
of one company in that
But
index.
now, on a quarterly basis, all the winners go upstairs to the Aussie 40 and all the losers from the Aussie 40 come. So you're giving away your winners and you're gaining all these losers.
Or it
Is
could
that
be
an automatic recipe for disaster?
no, because
I know
before
your
they go up to the top 40, they've actually enjoyed that benefit of the rise
Yes.
within the mid-cap also. So
And of course, sometimes stocks that are kicked out from the A team end
Yeah.
up doing very well once they've been kicked out.
exactly. In fact, that's exactly what happened to our mid-cap
Bizarre.
index earlier this year. It had those gold companies that were
Yes.
dropped from the top 40 that
Yes.
when they then had their good run, they were actually part of the mid-cap index, and that put them back into the top 40. So you had that good performance in the mid-cap index. But at any point in time, you can only look at where do we stand today and what does the future look like for
Yeah.
us. And I'm afraid the future for the mid-cap index, for me, where I stand right now today, does not look
Okay,
great.
well, that's where I was trying to get to next after all of the excitement. Is like, so you're concerned that the economy generally is a bit wishy-washy,
Yes.
maybe some of those mining stocks are a little bit overextended. So
Yeah.
your overall view is this is not one to be shopping for either.
No, because for me, this is much more about reflection of what's happening in the real economy in South Africa. And I think as much as we see that in things like the GDP numbers, as we see it in consumer confidence, as we see it in retail sales, or rather the lack thereof, this is exactly the index where that is represented.
pain's gonna
And
be
that for me
focused.
is not great
I don't
at the
know
moment.
if there's a share chart. No, there's not, because of the
Okay.
code change and all of that
Okay,
stuff. I
okay.
suppose it's out there, but it would reflect
Yeah.
the same sort of pattern.
It would.
A rather unimpressive performance in the last 18 months.
Actually, in the last 6 to 9 months, it's been a very good performer.
course, you're right,
but one must
because
be
of the mining
careful of that
shares.
to look at
Yeah.
that past performance and say, yay, this is the next great big thing.
Yeah.
So think in terms of what's in that index. And yes, you're really looking at a broad spectrum of South African companies in that index.
Okay, so not hot on that one as well. Okay.